Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here, dreading this all day. But, as Jimmy Johnson says, if you're going to walk the walk, talk the talk. Or is it talk the talk and walk the walk? Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Let's see what Stephen A. Smith has to say today. Oh, boy. Roll the tape.
The Atlanta Falcons beat Dallas 39-28 Sunday in the Cowboys' first game without Tony Romo and Des Bryant. The Cowboys, now 2-1, had a 6-game regular season win streak snapped. It truly was a tale of two halves for the Cowboys' rushing attack, especially. Now look at these numbers. In the first half, they ran all over the Falcons, rushing 16 times for over 130 yards with 4 scores, 3 by Joseph Randle, 1 TD by Darren McFadden. In the second half, they rushed just 5 times for -4 yards and no scores. Skip, I'm very eager to hear this. How confident are you in your Cowboys now?
You all right, man?
I'm not all right, to be honest with you. I must admit, I'm still pretty shook up from what I saw in the second half.
Yeah.
And just give me a moment here to try to work through it on the air, on live TV. I'm going to try to work through my emotions.
I want you to know.
All right, because they're rubble right now.
You can take up my time.
All right.
Take your
Thank
time,
you.
please.
To answer Molly's question, my confidence is shaken, but not broken. Because I still believe my Cowboys can win the NFC East because I don't trust any of those 3 other teams enough to say, uh-oh, we're in big trouble. And I must tell you, I didn't like what I saw in the first half. I flat out loved it, which is why I went from all-time elation to deflation. Would it have really helped to bank a win to get to 3-0? You better believe it would have helped, Stephen A., because you know what's coming. Nothing good is coming except no Romo and no Dez. Mm-hmm. So I'm here to tell you that, you all right, Mom? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm here to tell you, so just give me a second, okay? Yep. That in all my years of covering my Dallas Cowboys, or even watching them back to the time I was 10 years old, in all my years of covering the National Football League back to the 70s, I do not remember a single game I've watched in which a home team completely dominated the first half and then got even more dominated on their home turf in the second half. I've never seen anything quite like that. Mm-hmm. So when I look at Brandon Whedon's offense scored 28 in the first half, and Joseph Randle and Darren McFadden absolutely ran wild on the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
Don't forget Lance Dunbar, 10 catches, 100 yards.
At halftime, I cannot tell you how confident I was they could even win a shootout with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I'm thinking, hey, we could score 40 here. Maybe it'll take 45, but we're capable of doing it with this offensive line, which no-showed in the second half and got its golden tails kicked all the way back into the locker room by the Atlanta defense. Mm-hmm. -4 yards rushing in the second half. Again, you can't have it both ways because they did pretty much abandon the run, but after a while they didn't have any choice. So you can't condemn Brandon Whedon for not throwing the ball downfield because all any of us really wanted was for them to run the football in the second half and eat the clock. Mm-hmm. And I look at Brandon Whedon. Tell me this, if I told you on Friday that Brandon Whedon would go 22 of 26 for 232 with only 1 interception, I know it was a killer, but it was only 1, mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say, wow, that's pretty good. You got a shot. If I told you we would run the ball for 127 yards, wouldn't you say, hey, I don't know, that combination, that's pretty good. And we got blown off our own field. What happened to me? I thought, okay, let me just first say this. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones is a special connection right now to where they're going to do that to everybody they face because they've already done it to 3 teams. Mm-hmm. Remember Matt Stafford to Megatron the last 5 or 6 years? Nobody had any more confidence than Matt Stafford had in Megatron. He no longer has that confidence because Calvin's no longer Megatron, right? So we saw last night on Sunday Night Football, Matt Stafford's starting to look pretty ordinary to me, right? Okay, in this case, Matt Ryan, who I'm not the biggest fan of, is starting to look like Tom Brady because all he does is drop back and look for 11. Where's 11? Oh, just throw it over there. It's triple coverage. Nobody cares. Just throw it in his direction, and he will go snatch it, and he will run with it. That's hard to deal with. And then, listen, you're going to scoff at this, but my sack leader from last year, Jeremy Mincey, wound up getting a concussion in the warm-ups at Philadelphia, or so he said. He played the Philly game. He practiced this week. Then at game time, they decide, we better hold you out. That's my sack leader from last year. Now, the Cowboys are down to their fourth right defensive end. Well, they got Matt Ryan one time. No defensive lineman got to him. Sean Lee got to him once. And speaking of Sean Lee, for a crucial stretch of the second half, Sean Lee got his lip busted and had to go get stitches, and he was gone for several crucial series in the second half. He's all I got left on defense, okay? And I told you Ron Leary, my starting left guard, would play because they said all week he's going to play. He did not play yesterday. So now we're down to Lyle Collins, he's pretty good, but he's a rookie. So all of a sudden, it just cratered, just like it did last year at home against San Francisco and Washington on Monday Night Football. Remember that debacle? And then the Eagles on Thanksgiving night at Jerry World. Remember that debacle? This team can be terrible at home, but I thought off the first half that I liked what I saw. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to still say my glass is barely half full, but the second half, listen, I was just reeling from it because my jaw stayed on the floor the whole second half. Go ahead.
I want you to have more time. Because I need an answer to a particular question that I have not got from you, to be quite honest with you. And that beautiful soliloquy that you just put out there. Sean Lee's gone. Leary's gone. Mincy, he can't play the game.
Yeah.
Well, then why would you be upset? Because obviously they'll be back. What are you worried about?
Because they were that close to banking a third win that they're going to need before this is over.
Bayless, usually you're fond of saying this. You know, Stephen A., sometimes I think I know you better than you know yourself.
I do.
Well, that works two ways.
I
You know,
disagree.
because we go back so long. Let me tell you what I'm hearing from Skip Bayless. I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing. I want you to pay attention to this, Molly. This is very, very important.
I'm listening.
You understand? Because Skip trying to hoodwink America. See, they don't know you how I know you. Let me tell you what's going on right now, Skip Bayless. You're nervous because you know. No. I'm not talking about nervous as in, oh, I don't have my horses. I'm saying nervous that's even how you feel when they get back. Because whether Romo is there or Des Bryant is there, what alarms you is that you saw somebody that could potentially be a playoff team that's indicative of the kind of competition that you're going to go up against when it really, really counts. And you know that there were holes that were exposed in your secondary, and you don't like it one bit. And as a result, here's why Skip Bayless is feeling the way that he's feeling today. Forget this one loss. We understand that. Brandon Whedon, he played a relatively good game. He was spectacular in the first half as far as I'm concerned. Stupid interception that he threw when they were up 21-7. Changed the complete complexion of the game. Atlanta went right back. They were up 21-7. Atlanta went right back down and scored. Devontae Freeman obviously went ballistic. We all know the story. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. You recognize there's some holes in your secondary. You recognize more importantly than anything else, like you started out saying, NFC East, fine. But you picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
I did.
And what you saw, yeah, but that's just emotion talking. That's just emotion. Yeah, it is. That's your heart talking. That ain't your head talking. You know what's going on. You know what you've done to yourself. You pigeonholed yourself. You put yourself in a spot where you said that the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. And you know what I know.
What?
That there's no way they're going to the Super Bowl. They're not going. They're not going to the Super Bowl. You saw it yesterday because you know.
Wait,
no matter
he's picking against us? We're going to the Super Bowl now.
Even if Sean Lee comes back, Leary's here, Mincy comes back, you know in your heart of hearts that the Dallas Cowboys and that suspect secondary with Orlando Scandrick, who's actually coming on the show soon, not today, but he'll be on here soon enough. I can't wait for a Dallas Cowboy to sit right there in that chair. It's going to be a fun day for me. I'm here to tell you right now, you know what's going on here. You know that the Dallas Cowboys sitting up there getting ran on like that by Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, looking like the best receiver in football, doing what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it, abusing the Dallas Cowboys. You know what's coming. You know that your Dallas Cowboys are going to go down. And like I said before, by the way, this won't be the last injury. Think about this for a second. All the things that I've said. This is football. And Sean Lee is going for a busted lip. I mean, you can't make this up. This is the Dallas Cowboys we're talking about.
Listen, I will admit to you, I thought he'd just stay in the game.
I'm just saying,
he's bleeding too bad.
Really?
I did.
But now let's stitch it up and go there when they're on offense. I mean, are you kidding me?
Just
Football.
swallow it.
Football.
Just swallow it. Just play.
I needed it. Listen.
I needed it.
I'm just saying.
Suck it up and play.
It's hilarious to me because you got Joseph Randall. It was nice to see him in the news for something football related, as opposed to stealing draws. He looked spectacular. He really did. But it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to see him in the news for football related matters, as opposed to his issues at department stores. It was very, very touching.
Can we bust Stephen A. Smith in the lip?
Hey, listen, deodorant and drawers? Come on now, it's too funny. It's just funny to me. It's just funny to me. I'm sorry. The Dallas Cowboys will find a way. Skip, you lost a game yesterday to some degree because Sean Lee decided to leave games, as you say, for critical stretches because of a busted lip. Because of a busted lip. You understand? This is unbelievable to me. But it's the Cowboys, like I keep telling you. So once again, proof has been provided to me that the Dallas Cowboys will find a way to get in their own way. They can accumulate all the talent that they want in the world. Somehow, some way, what can go wrong will, when it's time. Dallas Cowboys, no Super Bowl. And that's why you're sitting up there looking all nervous and upset. Because you know, yes you do, you know that the Dallas Cowboys ain't going to the Super Bowl. That's what you discovered just now. Just admit it. Just admit it. Admit it.
I told you I was flummoxed by what happened yesterday, and I still haven't recovered from yesterday. But all I care about now is what is coming back. Because if, in fact, Greg Hardy had been eligible to play yesterday, and Randy Gregory had been healthy
pass rush is what we were missing yesterday. Flat out.
Mincy hadn't had some freakish concussion suffered in pregame warm-ups.
Right.
Hitting Ty Smith's helmet head to head, really?
Randy Gregory.
Do you know what would have happened to Matt Ryan in the second half?
They're great against. They are great. Actually,
and they would have been all over.
Actually, they're great against the pass. They would not be great against the run. Devontae Freeman still would have done what he did.
Okay, Matt Ryan was able to call dominoes in the pocket yesterday in the second half, and I couldn't believe it because they're usually not like that.
That's right.
Until I realized, wait a minute, Mincy's not in the game. What's going on?
Rod Marinelli pacing up and down the sideline, looking all flummoxed.
Church also busted his lip as well, and he missed time.
Cute. But once again, like I said, what really is revealing here in this segment, Skip Bayless is trying to gloss over the reality that he has finally discovered. Dallas ain't going nowhere this year.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to playoffs like they did last year, and they're going to go home. Just like they did last year.
Okay.
That's all that's going to happen. That's all you saw. That's all you saw. I'm pleased.
Okay.
I'm very
what
pleased.
are they now? Are they 0-3?
No.
No, they're 2-1. Do they have 2 division wins banked?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Did they come very close to banking another game and go to 3-0?
Yes, they
right?
did.
Now they have
They
to go
did.
to New Orleans on
did.
Sunday Night Football.
And they'll
next
win
week.
that game, probably.
Luke McCown, right?
They should beat Luke McCown.
Who knows?
They should beat Luke McCown.
I don't know. Luke McCown was really good.
He really
at
looked
Carolina
impressive. He
yesterday.
really looked good. I was very impressed.
It took an all-time great catch of an interception by Josh Norman to save the game. So are they legit?
But I don't believe in Rob Ryan's defense. I believe that when it's time for them to sink, they will. They're sort of like the Dallas Cowboys, except it's just on defense.
Okay.
Whereas the Dallas Cowboys are that way, period.
Okay, what did you tell me last year? 3 times on 2 Mondays and a Friday. You came in here and said Cowboys ain't going nowhere after they stunk up and laid an egg in their home opener against the 49ers. You said, would you get them out of my sight? I'm sick of talking about them. Then what happened after the Monday night game, so it was actually a Tuesday show, right, against the Washington Redskins, when they blitzed Romo silly and knocked him out of the game, remember that? And the offensive line looked like a sieve, remember that? And you said, Cowboys ain't going nowhere. And then Thursday, the Thanksgiving game at home, home against Mark Sanchez. He ran and threw wild on them that day. Remember
Butt
that?
fumble.
And on Friday, you sat right. We were actually both in New York City, but you said they ain't going nowhere. And where did they go? They almost got to the Super Bowl. That's where they almost went.
I'm sorry. My definition of almost is when you're in the conference championship game. My definition of
Well, it was
almost
a catch.
My
You know
definition
it was
of
a catch, and
almost
I
is
know it
not
was a catch.
applicable.
Was it a catch?
Well,
Yes, you said it was a catch.
It
Thank
was.
you.
My
They would've won
definition
that
of
game.
almost is applicable to the NFC championship game. It doesn't qualify for the divisional playoff game. That's number one. And number two, and more importantly, as I don't mind regurgitating, I will do this until the cows come home. You keep like you engage in selective amnesia
I
at
don't.
this point.
No, I just
You
point
keep
out the
talking about
facts.
the catch.
Yeah.
How much time was left?
It was just about done.
No, how much time?
I
No,
don't know.
It was a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but he
It
was
a couple of
hurt.
minutes. Tell me.
He was hurt.
I believe it. Yeah, and he was still doing it. That's right. He remembers everything, but you don't remember that.
Everything.
It's just funny. It's just funny. You forget that, but it's okay. My point to you is
This
this.
Monday
I
show
am of
6
the
years
belief.
ago.
I never once said that I did not think it was a catch. What I said was, I didn't care. It didn't matter because that would have given Aaron Rodgers the ball with enough time to do damage, and he would have. That is what I said.
That
On
would've
one
made
leg,
it
by the way.
right.
By the way, I'm glad you reminded me of that.
He was
beat
hurt.
the Cowboys on one leg.
hurt.
On one
Yeah, because
leg.
the refs took the
on
game
one
away.
leg.
It was the crime of the century.
Walking
You
like
know
my
it.
boy Cardell,
Yeah.
sitting up in there throwing touchdown
Yeah,
passes.
yeah.
That's what happened.
They had already won at Seattle in the regular
Okay.
season. They would have gone right back,
Right.
and they would have won again and been in the Super Bowl. And this year, they will right the wrongs as they start getting healthy and start getting their reinforcements in. Watch what starts to happen.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Okay, I can't take any more of that. But however, let me remind you about last year, a team that was left for the roadside about this time, where they said the quarterback was old and the coach should get fired. And that team was your Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots. That's right, beginning of the season, everybody thought they were done, but they turned it around. So I'm not giving up hope, friends. Thank you for joining, and be sure to click subscribe.